Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to everybody watching, wherever you are, whenever you're watching. All right, I believe it's episode 10. We're still working on short vowels. I think we're going to finish this lesson today, inshallah, and then move on to the next lesson. Okay, so Esnaf, we'll start with you. Take it away.
تا فتحة تا كسرة تا ضمة تا تي تو.
Excellent. Sister?
صاد فتحة صو صاد كسرة سي.
No, so this is a common mistake that some people make, right? Because it's hard to pronounce sod, don't try to bring it from your throat. What just happened there was you went right, like you were really trying to push it out, and what ended up happening was it ended up coming from your throat. Sod has nothing to do with your throat. Okay, you pushing it out from here or tightening here is not going to help you make the letter sod. Okay, sleep, it has to happen in your mouth. Okay, it's like saying C. You don't say seri when you say the letter S, right? It's not going to help you. Same thing. Sod and seen, they begin from the same place. They both have that sound. The only difference is sod is heavier. And actually, sod with the kasra is very close to a seen. That's why it's difficult for people, okay? So try one more time. Sleep.
Sleep.
Yeah, very good. You see, keep it in your mouth. If you feel anything go into your throat, it's immediately wrong, okay? Yeah, we'll do the last one.
Sod, dhamma, su.
Okay, all three together.
So, si, su.
Okay, you see the C, what you just kind of really just said a C, like a S. You made it very easy for yourself, okay? She didn't even try this time. Okay, saw. And actually it helps when you make the first one heavy in comparison, because then you when you make the first sawed a bit heavier, it's easy to make the second one a bit heavier. Saw, si, su.
So, si, su.
Su. Make it more full. Su.
Su.
Yeah.
Su.
Okay, and then the next one is easy now. It's enough compared to this. Go ahead.
سين فتحة س سين كسرة سي سين ضمة سو سا سي سو
Sasi su.
سا سي سو.
Okay, sister, say sasi su.
Sa, si, su.
Okay, you see how easy that is? Another way to fix your mistakes is to compare it with something else, right? So, for example, if you're practicing by yourself and you're trying to say sod, if you say it and it sounds exact, like if you say C and C and they both, for example, sound exactly the same, you know one of them is wrong, right? So sometimes comparing like that helps, okay? So say sassy su.
Sa, si, su.
Now say saucy su.
So, si, su.
Yeah, it's like saucy, right? Like saucy. It's like your mouth is full or something. So you see how when you compare it, it helps you actually understand, oh, this is what I'm supposed to do with the other one. Because if it sounds exactly the same, then it's wrong because it's supposed to be a different letter here. Swa, si, su, sa, si, su, sa, si, su. Okay, the other one is very light. The other one is heavy. Swa, si, su. Okay, go ahead. Esnaf, next one.
زا
Oh,
فتحة ز
you just went. Okay, sister, go ahead.
Za, 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 fatha, za. Za, kasra, zi. Za, dhamma, zu. Za, zi, zu.
Zazizu.
Za, zi, zu.
Right, this one's easy. Okay, next one, Esnaf.
فا فتحة
Oh, that's tha. Okay, you have to vibrate. There was zero vibration in your wall. Okay, think vibration. Put pressure. Wall.
ضا فتحة ضا ضا كسرة ضي
No, not boy. There was like a w in there. Keep it flat. V.
ضي.
Not we. You hear that? We. No, just like say the. Like dal. This one. Say the.
Which one that one? Oh, the.
Yeah, you hear that? Same thing. V. Say V.
V.
Now say V.
V.
Okay. The point is try to minimize the w sound in there. Okay. It should also be like that E sound. V. But it's heavy. It's
V.
V, light right at the tip of your tongue. V, and then there's a fuller mouth version. V.
V.
Yeah. Vo. V. Vu.
V. V. V.
Very good. Okay. Sister.
ذال فتحة ذا ذا كسرة ذي
V.
ذي
Again.
ذي
Yeah.
ذا ذا ضمة ذو
I'm not hearing a vibration. Thu.
ذو
Mhm.
ذا ذي ذو
Dhavivu. Look how my tongue stays out. Okay, it's all about the tongue. Dhavivu.
ذا ذي ذو
Dhavi. Okay. Thu.
ذا ذي ذو
You see, you said do at the end. That was like a D. Okay, there was like barely any vibration there. So you want to bring your tongue out and blow air. Okay, vibrate it. Take a breath. Sometimes it helps to take a breath because you need air. Okay. The, thu.
ذو ذو ذو
No, the first one was good. Yeah, and then you corrected yourself wrong. Okay, don't say do. If you say do, that means your tongue got stuck and it didn't come out and there was no air. That's a D. That's the letter D. We want thu, the vivu.
It's hard to make it short and then say that. Let me try again. That the ذو
Look, sometimes it's a breath thing because, for example, I have more breath, so it's easier for me to do all of them in one breath and waste more breath. So try to take a deep breath from your nose and then say the, thu, and put more breath into it because you have more now.
ذا ذي ذو
Yeah. See, it just seems like a breath thing. You don't have to say it all in one breath with me, like me. You can also just stop and take a breath between each one. The, and have a lot of breath to waste to make sure it's very vibracious, if that's even a word. I think I just made up a new word, but it sounded really nice.
MashaAllah. Inshallah.
All right, go ahead, Esnaf. This one is the same breath, but no vibration. This one's easier because it requires, do you see that? It requires more breath because you need additional breath and strength to make it vibrate. But tha is just literally releasing air out. Thafithu is very easy. Anyway, spell it out.
Tha fatha tha. Tha kasra thi. Tha dhamma thu. Tha thi thu.
Yeah, you see, very easy. Thafithi. Try, you keep it right at the tip of your tongue with no problem. Okay, excellent. So now let's go to the next lesson. Oh, well, we still have a little bit. Sorry, guys. I just have to screenshot this and open it up. Okay. Go ahead, sister. Start from the top. Right here.
ف
Go ahead. Fa, fatha, fa. Am I missing? Go ahead. Fa, fatha, fa.
Okay.
I'm not looking at the screen. Always problems.
Are we doing this again? All right, Asnaf, go ahead. You do it.
Let me do it. All right, fine. Bismillah. Fa fatha fa. Fa kasra fi. Fa dhamma fu. Fa fi fu.
Okay, sister.
It's the late night hours. She's laughing for some reason. She got the giggles. Say Bismillah.
I did. I don't know.
Say a'udhu billah.
Okay.
All right, go ahead. Wow.
Wow. What's the thing called?
It's one of those ones where it's just gonna get worse. The more you try to hold it in, the worse it gets. So just let it out.
We've been doing it the whole time.
Fatha, right?
Yes.
Yeah, fatha.
Fatha, fa.
No, well, we've moved on.
Oh.
Wow.
Wow. Fatha.
All right, Esnaf, you just finished off this lesson. No problem. Go ahead.
All right, no problem. All right. Wow, fatha wa. Wow, kasra wi. Wow, dhamma wu. Wa wi wu.
Okay, next one as well.
Ba fatha ba. Ba kasra bi. Ba dhamma bu. Ba bi bu. Mim fatha ma. Mim kasra mi. Mim dhamma mu. Ma mi mu.
Very good. Okay, so now we're going to start a new lesson. Okay, so I'm going to be doing some explaining. We might not get to practice too much of it today, but I just want to give an introduction to this. Okay, so we've learned so far fatha, kasra, dhamma. Okay, now if you can notice here, we have two fathas, two kasras, and this is actually two dhammas. One of them is just inverted or upside down. Okay, so how do we say this? What is this called in Arabic? We literally just say, in Arabic though, two fatha, two kasra, two dhamma. Okay, so when you start studying Arabic grammar and language later on, you'll see that in Arabic, in order for you to say two of something, you'll add ain at the end. Okay, ain. That's what the A. So for example, kitab, if I want to say two kitabs, two books, kitabain. For example, a sa'a, a watch, sa'atun, it becomes sa'atain. Qalam, a pen, qalamain. Okay. Ain. That ain ending, actually in Arabic, by adding that ain ending, you're actually saying there's two of something. So what fathatun, okay, fatha as we learned it, okay, to say two fathas, we're literally going to say fathatain, okay, meaning two fathas. Kasratain, dhammatain. So it's the same as before. Fatha, all you're adding now to the end is tain. Okay, and when you add this tain, it means two. So fathatain means two fatha, kasratain, dhammatain. Now what does it do? Asnaf, what sound does fatha make? For example, okay? Now this second fatha, that we've added in the fathatain, you can see it as a N sound. Okay, so basically what you're doing now is you're just going to add an N sound to what you were doing before. So if fatha makes an A sound, you add an N, and now it makes what sound?
N.
N. Kasra makes what sound, sister?
E.
E. Okay, you can write it like this or like this, whatever. Okay, so now with the second kasra, all you're adding is you're adding an N. So now it becomes in. Okay, before it used to be E, now it's in. Dhamma makes what sound, Asnaf?
Un.
Dhamma, one of them.
One, sorry. U.
U. If you add an
Un.
Un. Okay, so if you haven't noticed, what fathatain, kasratain, dhammatain are doing, all you're doing is you're adding an N sound. Okay, so fathatain, fatha is A, fathatain is An. Kasra is E, kasratain is in, dhamma is U, and dhammatain is Un. Okay? Wait for you to get back.
I had to open the door. The cat was
No, you're good. Okay.
crying, so it doesn't wake up the baby.
So when we spell it out, okay, it's going to be just like before. You're going to say meme fathatain instead of fatha this time. Meme fathatain, men. You're adding an N sound. Before it was meme fatha ma. Now it's meme fathatain, men. You just added an N. Meme kasratain, min. Okay. Any letter that has a kasratain has an in sound. Okay. Meme dhammatain, mun. Okay. Just another example. Any letter that has a fathatain makes an N sound. So just quickly, some examples. This will be man. Okay. Ban. Okay. Than. You're adding N to the end. Kasratain makes an in sound. Min, bin, win, fin. Okay. Dhammatain, un. mun, bun, thun, zun, vun. Okay, that's what we're doing. The final thing that I'm going to say about this lesson is you're going to notice fathatain about 85% of the time or more. It always comes with this alif right after it. See, there's fathatain, and then we have an alif. There's fathatain, then there's an alif. There's fathatain, then there's an alif. There's fathatain, and this is also an alif. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but this can sometimes be an alif. This can sometimes be a ya. Okay, here this is an alif. How do we know it's an alif? Because it comes after fathatain. Okay. See, fathatain, alif, fathatain. So this alif always comes. What I tell my students is we don't spell this out and we don't pronounce it. We don't worry about it at all. We pretend like it doesn't exist at all. This alif, completely silent for you, irrelevant. What's the purpose of this alif, you might ask? When you start reading Quran, you'll know what purpose it serves. It does have a purpose. It's not just there for no reason and we're skipping over it, okay? But for now, whenever you see this alif that comes after fathatain, whatever you see after fathatain, I'll just leave it like this to simplify. Whatever you see after fathatain, whether it's this ya looking alif or an actual alif or a z or a robot or whatever, you don't worry about it. Okay, you don't pronounce it. Your word ends at the fathatain. So you're just going to say, when you spell it out, mim fathatain man, and done. You don't have to worry about this. Ba fathatain ban, as if this isn't even here. You're just going to ignore it. Okay. So the way we're going to start.
Sometimes in the Quran, like when I was like reading it, sometimes like there will be like a fathatain or kasratain or dhammatain. How come sometimes they don't pronounce the ending of it when they're running it along with words? Does that make sense? Like for example, like in Surah Al-Bayyinah, Rasulun min Allahi yatlu suhufan mutahhara, right? How come sometimes I hear reciters, they don't say the fathatain on Rasulun? They say with the M. Is there a reasoning for that?
Yeah, there is. It's a tajweed rule. It's a tajweed rule, which we're not going to cover now. We're going to cover that in the Quran. Okay? That's a tajweed rule. It's called idgham. Okay? And what that means, it means it's a merging of two things. There's a merging that happens, and it happens in the Quran, but it's a tajweed rule. We're going to save that for when you actually start the Quran. That's not a question for a beginner or for somebody that's learning the basics right now. That's once we finish this book and we get into the Quran, then I can answer that question properly. And even then, to be honest, I don't even get into the tajweed rules with my students until they start reading, and they start reading a bit fluently. Okay? But actually, I think even in the qaida, to be honest, I'm mistaken. Towards the end of the qaida, you're going to start doing that rule. What you just asked me, actually, I am mistaken. Towards the end of the qaida, we do start doing that rule. But what I do is, the way I explain rules, tajweed rules in the qaida, I don't get technical. I just tell students, if you see this and you see this, do this. Okay. But later on, when you start getting into the Quran, I explain exactly why and the name of the rule and stuff like that. I don't get into the nitty gritty in the qaida, but actually, you'll see later on what you just asked and explained. We're going to be doing that as well. And you'll find out why later, inshallah. So the way we spell this out, and we'll close off, I'm just going to show you. And then tomorrow you guys can start from the beginning and do it. Okay, just like before. Mim fathatain man, mim kasratain min, mim dhammatain mun, and then all three together. Man, min, mun. Okay, and we're going to start from here. And we're going to do the same thing tomorrow, inshallah.
Inshallah.
All right. Jazakumullah khairan. Hope you guys benefited. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.